One measure of spread of data is the standard deviation. We can compute the sample standard deviation using Excel. We can also compute the population standard deviation using Excel. In this video, I will show you how to compute standard deviation, both sample and population, also how to compute the sample variance and the population variance. So in order to compute the sample standard deviation, we're going to say equals stdev.s. You're going to select the one with the .s, and then you're going to highlight your data or select your data. In order to compute the population standard deviation, we're going to type stdev.p, select our data and click enter. The sample variance, you can find it basically by squaring the sample standard deviation, or if you were given the variance, you can basically take the square root of the sample variance in order to come up with the sample standard deviation. Similarly, if you want to find the population variance, you can basically square the population standard deviation, or if you were given the population variance, you can basically take the square root of the population variance to find the population standard deviation. I will show you in this video how to compute the variance using raw data. So equals, you're going to say var.s in order to compute the sample variance, and then you're going to select your data. Again, if you take the square root sqrt of the variance, you should get the sample standard deviation, as you can see here. You can also compute the population variance from raw data, so var.p, and then select your raw data. And if you take the square root of the population variance, you should end up with a similar number to the population standard deviation, as you can see here. So that is one way of finding the standard deviation. In order to compute the standard deviation using the data analysis tool, you're going to head to the data analysis, and then in the analysis section you can find it. If you can't find it, I showed you in a previous video how to make it available by going to File, Options, and then you go to Add-ins. Make sure you select Excel Add-ins and click Go. Make sure you tick the first box and click OK, and it should appear. You're going to double click on the data analysis tool, and then you're going to double click descriptive statistics. Your input range is going to be your raw data, and these are in columns, so columns is selected. We do not have any labels. I didn't select the label GPA in my case, so I'm not going to tick this box. I want the data to appear on the same sheet, so I'm going to select output range and then click in the box in front of it and then choose any empty cell. And I want to find summary statistics. So now I'm going to click OK. As you can see here, I have many data. Notice how the standard error is not the standard deviation. Let me highlight that red. It is not the standard deviation. Here is the standard deviation, and what do you notice about the standard deviation? Exactly, it is the sample standard deviation. And the variance is the sample variance, as you can see here. So the sample variance and the sample standard deviation can be computed using the data analysis tool. However, the population standard deviation and the population variance have to be computed manually using the separate functions on Excel. So I hope this helps, and I will see you in a different video.